Hello everybody, this is Mike, Minnesota, CNC Mike on the Tiny CLR forum. This is my first how-to video, so it's going to be hokey. Anyway, this is basically the FEZ Panda interface with a 8 relay parallel port board that I hooked up to the Panda. Basically just going to demonstrate that hooked with serial to the computer, it can do what I need it to do so far. We'll go up to the little screen here and we'll see if we can get a halfway decent shot. I'm going to debug for the main app. The Panda already has the program on it. Pull this over here. Once you start it, you gotta select the COM port, or else it tells you when you select the COM port you can enable the joystick. At rest, it's gonna do a method that says that's gonna calibrate your analog features of your joystick so they're figured for 0, or else it gets all screwed up. So it just did that, and then we can double check this. Now you can just see that it just filled up with a bunch of temperature and green boxes on the bottom. It asked the Panda to send a bunch of sensor data back, and it did. Now the cool thing is we can also start video. This is interface video just with a generic little wireless camera that I bought on eBay for a couple bucks years ago. See if we can get a shot of that. Just a generic thing. So basically what my intentions are is I'm going to shove all this hardware into a underwater ROV, and then I'll be able to drive around underneath the water with it. What the joystick is for is if right now I have it hooked up to the point of view buttons, but I might drive the motors with the relay, so if I push forward it triggers two relays that you probably can't see from that angle. Push forward, it fires those two, backwards it fires those two. And I put a thing in the main application so it only sends data when the thing is when the state changes. So if you just hold it, it doesn't continuously send it, because why do that? And then if I use the analog features, I don't have any motors hooked up to it yet, but we'll show you the board. See if you can zoom into these, or at least one of the LEDs. So that's on an analog, and that's sending whatever state the analog joystick button is, and it's on the PWM pin that drives the speed of the motor. That's forward or back. And again, that's on I got a compare variable on that too, so I mean it'll only send the data when it changes. So it's the main application's pulling the joystick like, I don't know how many milliseconds. I never really figured it out or cared, but it's a lot. Without that, it would just be bombarding Panda with data, which doesn't really matter. So that's where I'm at so far. I got 2 temperature sensors. Let's see where those are. Just taking temperature readings and sending them to the Panda or to the computer and displaying them. On the bottom there, I won't be able to trigger it, probably because of the board, but I have on the loader button. I'm supposed to grab something. If I push the loader button, I should be able to trigger the sensor 3 turns red and turns green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some leak sensors that pulls that pin down, and then it'll tell me if I have a leak somewhere. I'll probably have a half a dozen of them, so I'll fill up the whole bottom of the screen. But so basically that's for a newbie what I've been working on, and just want to say thanks for everybody on the Tiny CLR website and GHI for helping a newbie play with computers. Thanks. Bye.